So in this video, I'm going to show how to change the font or the typography represented in our canvas, our user interface. In this case, from a previous video, I've already created a short game that counts the number of cubes that I collect. I'll revisit that by simply hitting play here. And in the upper left-hand corner, you can see the text that's associated with the canvas. I'm calling it score text. And you can see that I have a literal string at the bottom, and I'm also updating a variable using visual scripting. So I'm going to go collect some cubes, and we'll be able to see the number in the upper left-hand corner change. The text won't change, but the cubes will, assuming I can hit one of these cubes. There we go. And I'll head back. All right. So I can collect the cubes and we can see the number change. But, the typeface itself, the new text listed here, is also represented over here on the right. So we can see that new text listed here. I'm going to twirl up the transformation panel just so we can see this a little bit better. And I'll drag down the user, the representation of the color. And right here, we can see the new text and the character and the font, the paragraph alignment. I have it set to best fit. There's a minimum size, there's a maximum size, color, and so on. But what I want to do here is change it from Arial, boo, boring, to anything else, hopefully something more interesting and something more related to the game. Well, if I come on over to the meatball and I select the meatball, I can see that I have a choice of no font or Arial, right? Those are the two typefaces that I have available currently. Now, we've gone over this before, but this is more just of a refresher. It has, I'm going to continue to use the standard text. Remember, this particular standard text is just the simple user interface straight text. So I'm going to update that. In order to see it again, I need to make sure that I have it selected. So there we are. I've selected it, and I want to swap out Arial. Well, we need another typeface in order to do that. We've got to have a typeface available. And I'm just going to go download one and use the downloaded version as the example. I'm going to minimize this, and I'll minimize my Unity Hub, and I'll drag web browser in here. And I'll head off to Google Fonts. I'm simply going to Google that up, or I guess Bing it in that case. And I'll head to Google Fonts. And Google Fonts is a repository of typefaces that Google allows people to use for free. They can be imported into websites. You can download them and use them for yourself. You get to choose all kinds of different things. And they literally have hundreds of typefaces available. So I'll go for a category. I guess I want a display typeface, that's for sure. I don't know if I care that it's handwriting, but I don't want it to be monospace. These are just opinions. A display typeface is like something you might see on a sign, Burger King or, Papa John's or the mall or whatever. Handwriting, as you might expect, is supposed to mimic some form of handwriting, although not all of them will. I'm just asking for things in that general area. I'll scroll down and look for something I'm interested in. Lobster has been very popular lately. Rubik Beastly probably won't work very well in a game. Pacifico is kind of nice, but I want something heavy. Haven't made up my mind yet. And I think I'll go with something that's a little bit chunky because it will go with the cubes in the game. I'm going to go with Alpha Slab 1. This was a spontaneous decision for me. So I'll select that one. We get to see what the typeface looks like. We get to see the actual characters in the typeface. So it's not here on this sample glyphs. You might be in trouble if you needed it and it's not there. I'm going to just download the family here. Click the download, and it comes on down to my downloads folder. I'm going to go ahead and open the downloads folder, and I can see that I have a compressed file, in this case a .zip file, right there. I'm going to go ahead and close the web browser. I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to get this on the desktop just so we can see it here in Zoom. I do need to decompress or uncompress this .zip file. I'm going to go and extract here, and I should get just the files just sitting here. Now this one is the actual typeface. If I hover over it, you can see the company that made it. You can see that says type, true type font file. I'm looking for that. And then if I hover over the other one, you can see that it's a text document. It has, instructions and who made this and so on. Now, the other things we don't actually need, I'll kind of put them off to the side here. It is the typeface we do actually need, and I'm now going to import it into Unity. So I'll head back to Unity here, and I'm going to go on to the project, right, where I have my assets panel right here. I'm going to go ahead and make myself a simple new folder. I'll call it, I guess I'll call it new fonts. So there we go, folder. I'll call it new fonts, or new typefaces would also be a good way of using that. I'll open that, and I'm going to now go and import that new typeface, that font file. So I'm going to go to import new, and I'm here on my desktop where I can see everything I have on my desktop. There it is. There's the typeface I'm interested in. I'll select it one time and import, and it's now available. It's not necessarily an asset just yet, but it is in the assets folder under my new fonts folder, right? So I'll head back and reselect in my canvas, and then I'll head back over to the font for Arial, where I can see the character. This font is listed as Arial. Now, if I hit the meatball, it will show me every typeface available inside of Unity. The Alpha Slab, which is my new typeface, and I can see it's already taken place up here in the upper left-hand corner. Now, because it's a different physical size, I'd better save and go test the game to make sure it's truly big enough. The text box is actually big enough because that might be so much room that it doesn't fit, but it looks like it does. And I'm going to head back now and get out of this and take another quick look at it. Over here, I see I have my font style set to bold, and Alpha Slab 1 is already kind of a bold typeface, so I don't really need it set to bold. I'll turn it back to normal, which I think works out pretty well for me. And I'm going to go ahead and try it again. Because it was actually designed in that size, you can see it's a little bit more crisp and easier to read, and it fits the game a little bit more with all these yellow cubes. I'll grab some of the cubes and we can see the numbers come together. There we go. And that's how you change the typeface for your game in Unity. Thank you.